Hello and welcome back. In this video, I would like to discuss a little bit about our mindset towards sketching, and in particular about using a positive mindset and about using positive language when you approach sketching and when you do sketching, when you talk to other people about it. The way that we speak really does reflect our inner thoughts and our approach to sketching and drawing. I hear lots of people in my live courses, in my sketchbook challenge, and even in my pottery cafe where I work, saying things like, I'm not creative, or I can't draw. And some of these things will be embedded in our mindsets from when we were little, when we were children, where we've had teachers or parents telling us that doesn't look right, or you're not creative, you can't draw. These things are deeply, deeply embedded, and it's very difficult to break these barriers and bring a positive mindset towards sketching and drawing as we become older. As adults, we have a lot more things going on in our brains. We have things that have happened in our lives, so we often don't come to things fresh like a toddler or a child would. I'm going to come back to that later. So instead of saying things like, I can't draw faces, or I am not creative, it's perhaps worth looking at phrases that you can flip this around and speak in a more positive way about that. So instead of saying, I can't draw faces, say something like, I am going to enjoy learning to draw faces. Then you've only got positive words being used. And I will share some examples of language switches that you can try to implement in the text underneath this video. So when it comes to positivity, if you watch your language over the next couple of weeks, when you come to your sketching, you may notice a few of these things just dropping in. And we'll all have certain things we do and other things we don't. I naturally am a very positive person, which does annoy a lot of people. I am ever the optimist. So if something goes wrong, I don't use that word wrong. I'm like, oh, that was interesting, or that's a nice experiment. So we just want to flip things around and use positive language when we sketch, when we open these sketchbooks and when we approach things. So for example, if I'm doing something and it doesn't go the way I intended, instead of going, oh, that went wrong, I would think, okay, that was interesting, that was different, that's not the way I intended it to be. Let me either try again or let me do that again and see where this goes, see where the exploration can happen. So what I would like you to do for the duration of this course, and as you start sketching, as you start opening your sketchbook, is to watch your language. Notice when you say can't, won't, don't like, don't enjoy. Notice when you say these things and just start to replace words with positive words, positive language and a positive attitude. Another thing you can perhaps do is look at writing down one or two positive affirmations in terms of creativity and drawing. I've got a couple of examples here in my own sketchbook, my notebook, that I come to. So for example, one of them is, I am confident and skilled in my creative work. And another one is, my creativity flows freely. So another thing you could write things like, I enjoy sketching. I love creating every day. Think about one or two positive affirmations that you can just repeat to yourself, and this will help to reprogram your brain and change your mindset to be a really, really positive one towards sketching and drawing. Because as adults, as I mentioned, we often have negative experiences or negative language that is directed at ourselves that we're having to fend off or work around to then do the sketching. I have had in my past many people say, when are you going to get a real job? When are you going to do something proper? And this is all general sort of negative implications or language towards creativity and sketching and drawing that I've had to work on. So that might be the thing that happens to you. You might just find somebody sort of laugh at your sketching and go, well, that doesn't look like a something. And it's like, no, it doesn't. That's my interpretation. I'm gonna pause the video for now. I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to dwell too much on this. The main takeaway from this video is start to replace any negative words you notice yourself saying with more positive language, and perhaps write yourself down a couple of positive affirmations, just a couple, in your sketchbook to return to it every now and again, just to reaffirm that you enjoy sketching, you enjoy creativity, and to make this a positive and fun experience. I'll see you soon.